Okay, welcome, guys. Welcome to this Saturday afternoon. Thank you for joining us. Oh, it's a hot one out there, but I am hoping that you've come in from your barbecues and whatever, and going to join me with the great legend that I have with me today, and that is brother Normski. How you doing, Norm? Is all good?
I like the brother, bro.
Yeah, no, quality, mate.
We get church today.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Big up to you, man. A really absolute pleasure, honor to be on DJB. My debut on his show. So I'm a little bit
wicked, man.
I've been doing it for a bit of time, but mate, when you're on your show, bro, you need to come correct and big up to the chat.
Oh yeah. 100%. Now, hopefully the chat we'll get more of the chat. I don't know who's live whilst I'm live, but I thought I'd put this out on a Saturday afternoon. As I said, I'm still sort of feeling my way around this stream world, as we call it, and podcasting world. But just want to say thank you very much for the chat. Thank you very much for everyone that's subscribing. Over 1K. I'm absolutely blown away with it. So we're trying to build a community, guys. So if you haven't subbed, it will help. Please sub to the channel. And we've got a few things to talk about. First of all, Normski, it should be us. We're only a couple of hours away from the Champions League, my friend. And it should have been us having barbecues in the garden and celebrating and being out in Munich. And, you know, we should have all been there. We should have been there. We should be in the pubs now. We should be rejoicing. I mean, that should be us, shouldn't it, mate, today?
Oh, listen, DJB, bruv. I was walking down the high street and gentleman went, "Oi." I went, "What?" He goes, "You should be here. You should be down here playing now." I was thinking, geez, man. You know, it is what it is. You know what I mean? I just really regret us not making this final. You know, we go back to 2006, and I know that hurts you very much. You know,
yeah. Kiss
and
killer.
now, you know, we lose out to PSG in a semi-final, and I mean, and to be perfectly honest, look, we didn't play well in those both legs. Yeah, our best time was against Real Madrid, and that for some fans was our final. You know what I mean? And so that's their cup at the end of the day. That quarter-final cup, that Real Madrid 5-1 aggregate cup, if that's what you want to call it. But yeah, we should be there. Do you know what I mean? And
yeah, it's heartbreaking, isn't it, man?
Yeah,
I mean, when we beat Real Madrid, I look back on that tie, and I always when I'm wrong, I hold my hands up. I'm not, you know what I mean? I'm happy to admit I'm wrong. I say as it is, you know, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And I've got to be honest, I didn't see us beating Real Madrid. I thought we'd go out 3 or 4-2, 3 or 4-1 in over 2 legs. Definitely. But yeah, I mean, we got through, and I was all up for it. And for some reason or another, I just thought, this is it. This is our final. I couldn't see us beating PSG, and that was the one game I was really confident in, where I thought to myself, I can't see it. And then I thought to myself, well, hang on a minute, I said this about Real Madrid, and we got through. Yeah. So when we went out against PSG, man, I mean, we went out with a bit of a whimper, didn't we, Norm? I don't know.
Yeah, we did, absolutely. I mean, you know, this wasn't the same PSG we played in the group stages, and I think a lot of people had this idea that, you know, we was gonna, you know, beat them, and I think where we really need to have done the damage was at home. And literally within the first couple of minutes, you know, we're down 1-0. We didn't know. We was all over the place. And I think that just took the cells right out of us. And then to make it worse, you know, Thomas Partey, you know, getting that yellow card to miss, you know, the second leg. And Declan Rice was just not happy about it at all. It was that game, wasn't it? Where he was it the second yellow card, or was it in the Real Madrid game? Was it the Real Madrid game or?
Yeah, no. Thomas Partey got the second yellow, didn't he? And in the Real Madrid, and he missed the PSG
game. Yeah. Oh, that's right. Let's get that right. Yeah. And so obviously that kind of affected us in this particular game, the first leg of that. But literally, they just took us by surprise, and the rest is history. And
it was, man. It was disappointing, but I mean, all fairness tonight, I mean, the PSG, I mean, they go there tonight, don't they? Where are we now? I mean, they've got the big game tonight, haven't we? So, I mean, it's It's going to be tough, man. It's going to be tough.
Yeah, two contrasting teams. You know, Enrique playing at Barcelona football with PSV.
Yeah.
That should be us on there.
That's what I'm saying. Doesn't it hurt? Doesn't it hurt, Norms? I saw this fine list, yeah, and I saw old Big Ears, a picture of old Big Ears there. Not Gary Lineker, bless up. But I saw a picture of old Big Ears there. I saw the badges. And you just know the fans are really enjoying that day, aren't they? Yeah, I remember 2006, Norms, and it was just like adrenaline, nerves, everything you can imagine, Norms. But this should have been us, shouldn't it? And I mean, that moves us nicely on. Where do you think the season went wrong? I mean, pure and simple, I'm going to say it now. What went wrong for me was day one, was when we failed to sign a striker. That's where it went wrong for me. But where did you see during the season? Was it a lack of midfield creativity? Obviously it's the manager, because everyone knows our views on the manager. Where do you think it went wrong, brother? Where do you think it went wrong?
I think you hit the nail on the head in terms of what we didn't do in the summer transfer window by getting that striker that we was meant to go and get. You know, he was given the money, he was backed. You know, this notion that, you know, and this is the narrative that a lot of these top gooners have been pushing, that the fact that he hasn't been backed. He has been backed in the transfer window. He decides that he's going to now go and buy two defensive-minded players, of which one now is injured. Yeah, one that was bought to play in the left-back position, but is actually a left centre-back. Yeah, he's good going forward. Yeah. And even to the point, and when we talk about where it went wrong, is where the injuries, in terms of, and when I say injuries, let's get this right, I'm not giving any excuses, is because of, in terms of his first 11, when you look at the bench, we didn't have a squad. We didn't have a quality squad to be able to change it around. He spent loads of money on that left back position when we clearly had our best left back, which is now Kieran Tierney, who's now going to Celtic, who will now go and win cups and whatever it is. You know what I mean? So for me, it went wrong in terms of where we look at how many games where we've, from winning positions, we've dropped 21 points, drawn too many games, DJ. 14 games drawn. 14 games, I believe, it's drawn. 13 games drawn. I can't remember now. I've lost count. And then the other thing is where it's all right saying beating the top six sides and how many thousands of days we've beaten the top six sides. The problem is the same said sides like West Ham, Aston Villa, Fulham. Yeah, these are the same teams where we are now dropping points against. Yeah,
100%.
And it comes down to a mentality thing, and that comes right from the top, right down through the manager, right down through to the players, and now it goes down to the fans. And what it is now, Arteta came in. When he came in, first of all, he was not at the position to take over a club, third biggest club in the country.
No.
Have the credentials. Yeah, he was Pep's Coleman, and I think a lot of people went on this notion that because of the sort of football that Pep played, they thought that he was going to bring that along. You have to have experience. You have to have experience, and he didn't have experience managing at lower levels or managing other clubs like other managers that you see that are winning. Some in their first phase. Look at Slot, first phase with Liverpool. He comes here. Nobody gave Liverpool a chance. Nobody.
No. I've got to be honest. I thought the Liverpool thing was just sort of like the manager coming in, getting used to the situation, kind of feeling his way around the Premiership, making a few little tweaks here and there. And I thought Liverpool was never going to be in the frame when it comes to winning the Premiership. I thought Liverpool top 5, top 4. And there's no disrespect to Liverpool, and big up Liverpool for winning it. But you just think like a new manager coming in, taking over from an iconic figure like Jurgen Klopp, I'm thinking, they're going to take a couple of seasons to hit the ground running here. It's going to take him time. Yeah. But he's come straight in and he's just proved to everyone, don't need time.
I mean,
so why is it our managers, why is it he still needs time? Why is it that he still, because we're going to get onto a couple of things later on, Norm, where it still worries me the amount of authority this man's got.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it absolutely baffles me as to why this guy is so protected. we keep hearing about, he took us out of the doldrums, and took us from 8th place to finishing second and competing. Well, if you remember in his first tenure, we finished 8th twice.
Yeah, facts.
What was the fan base saying then? I don't know if it's an infatuation with him. I'm trying to figure it out, DJ.
Yeah. No, exactly, mate.
Every now and then you see me go into the Matrix, because that is what it's all about, mate. It's going into the Matrix and trying to figure out what these fans are saying. Big up to Jez.
Big up Jez. Is it your birthday? Is it your birthday? Oh, listen, man, you don't want to big up the Godfather, man. Big up Jez. No, it's facts. Big up to all the chat, mate. Honestly, fantastic for you to join us. No, it's facts what you're saying, Normski. We've never understood that, and we're going to go into next season and we're still going to be asking these questions and everything else, and we can go round and round in circles all day. Listen, the views about the manager. For me, I'm with a lot of people. I just think he's had his sell-by date. I think, and I've said it time and time again, I think it comes to the point in any walks of life where you just have to hold your hands up and just say, look, I've done all what I can.
When he came to that point when he failed, and he turned around and said, I can't remember who he was talking to, whatever magazine or where he was talking to. So, listen, I think now that's probably as far as I can take the club. But something must have clicked in his brain. He thought, or somebody said, you're getting 15.6 million, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he's been rewarded for failure. At the end of the day, no other club would accept this. Yeah, no other club. Real Madrid, Barcelona, Bayern Munich, any top club will not accept.
No, exactly, man.
6
years. It just won't happen.
Yeah.
Just wouldn't happen. I mean, I'm trying to get the what I saw earlier, which is quite worrying, and we can talk about it. Let me see if I can get this up. Bear with us, guys, because as I said, I'm still learning. Is that the one? No, we've had that one, haven't we, Normski? We don't want to keep rubbing that in, do we? We want to get rid of that, don't we? That's that is definitely one we want to get rid of, isn't it, my friend? Do you know what I mean? We don't want that.
I'm thinking what you're thinking is either the Cesco thing or the Lewis-Skelly thing, because that's both.
Yeah. This is the one. Is it this one? Is it? Oh, yeah. Let's talk. Let's. I'll tell you what. This is worrying. This is worrying. I don't know what you think about this, Norms. What do you have you seen this?
That's exactly what I'm worried about.
Have you seen the right, guys? So what's happening is that apparently Lewis-Skelly. Now I know it's all paper talk, and you go on streams and you go on different streams, guys, and you go on here and you go on there and you go live here and you go. And we all see it, don't we? And it's all coming from different directions, right? So I'm not gonna go, yo, this is set in stone, this is concrete, this is what's happening, right? But when things get circled like this, you have to stand up and take notice. How true it is, we don't know. But apparently, Lewis-Skelly is stalling. Arsenal's efforts to sign Lewis-Skelly down to a new contract have not been going well, and Real Madrid are ready to capitalise, according to a report. Lewis-Skelly and Ethan Nwaneri are the brightest talents of Arsenal. I'm glad they've said that Ethan Nwaneri is a brightest talent, which is being outcast by this manager, have produced in recent times. Fact, they are our brightest sparks we've produced in recent times. Perhaps the greatest since Bukayo Saka. So, apparently, Lewis-Skelly now is stalling over contracts, blah, blah, blah. Is that down to the manager, or is that Lewis-Skelly's agent kind of thinking, well, hang on, keep your options open because Arsenal ain't really won anything. You ain't going to get the wages at Arsenal that you deserve. Is it paper talk, or do you think this is actually happening, Norms?
I wish I was a fly on the wall for a start, DJ. But I wish I was a fly on the wall. A lot of it is speculation, but it is worrying when these sort of things come out. I think Lewis-Skelly is on something like 4,000 a week. I might be wrong.
Oh yeah, it's silly money. It's about 6-8 grand a week.
I wouldn't mind getting £4,000 a week. You know
yeah.
But in context, you understand that's nothing. And for what this guy has done, if somebody had told me that Lewis-Skelly would be scoring against Real Madrid, doing what he did against Man City. All okay, there are the games that are in isolation, yeah. And the way he has played this season, being picked for England, scoring on his debut, yeah, you would have said no way, yeah. And I think he needs to be recognised for his position. Listen, Lewis-Skelly is not actually a natural left back. He's a midfielder. And to be honest, the only reason why he's playing there is because of Calafiori being injured, right?
Yeah.
Because Calafiori was brought in to be that left back, even though he's a left centre back and he can't defend for love nor money, yeah, right. And so you've got this situation here now where, Real Madrid are looking, right. If that's what it is, I don't know. If that's the case, they're looking. It is worrying because he's only 18. This is a guy that's come through our academy. Yeah, that would look very bad. The same thing with Ethan Ranwery. I'm glad you said they mentioned Ethan Ranwery in that bit of what you just said there. I'm glad that they mentioned Ethan Ranwery because he's been treated really bad by.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, we go back and Arsenal brought in Berta, and I think that was a kind of breath of fresh air for a lot of us because Edu and Arteta are kind of pally, and you're thinking Berta's coming in. This is business, right? Separate business from pleasure. This is business. I'm here to do business. But one of the things in the narrative that's being chucked out there again is that because Berta's got the experience, spending 12 plus years with Atletico Madrid, doing some of the best deals and whatever. Now, if you read the statement there, Arsenal facing Lewis-Skelly disaster as Real Madrid pounce on Berta's first big mistake. How do we know it's Berta's first big mistake? We don't know. Yeah, but you see now where they want to point the finger. Yeah, for me, yeah, I don't know where it lies. I'll be lying and saying, is it Arteta's fault? Is it the club's fault? But the agent might be looking and thinking, well, listen, you've done all of this, yeah. I mean, if it was me, I would probably. He's still young and he's got so much time ahead of him. As some people like to say, a high ceiling. I would probably say on his first contract, give him 50k. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, some people say give him more. I'd say give him 50k, keep his head level. Because
that's a good point,
after 3-4 years, he's going to be what 20, yeah, 21.
Then give him these 100. Yeah. I mean, I make you right because what we tend to do and what a lot of clubs, and listen, this ain't just Arsenal. A lot of clubs do it. They get a talent like that, and straight away they put them on such extortionate wages, and straight away the kids think that they're better than what they are without even learning. Without learning the ropes. Do you know what I mean? I mean, this kid is still learning. What worries me under this manager is he going to improve him to that next level? Because we've seen Martinelli, for example, for me, should be a world beater now. Absolutely. He's been under this manager for 5, nearly 6 seasons. If he was any good at what he does, Martinelli should be like everyone should be after him. Real Madrid, Barcelona's, everyone. You know what I mean? But this is another brilliant talent that's sort of fallen off the end of a cliff.
Yeah.
And this is what worries me under this manager is will he get the best out of these young players? Will they be allowed to develop? Will they develop in the right way?
Yeah.
Because I'm seeing Ethan Ranwery now under this manager, and he's made a couple of mistakes. And young players are going to make mistakes. That's what it's all about. They're going to make mistakes. They're only young. They're learning the ropes, right? Ethan Ranwery has made a few mistakes, probably. He might have turned up for training late. Bang, and he's been punished. He's been left out of the squad. He's been left home to dry. He's been watching Kieran Tierney rock up on right midfield. He got some time against Southampton last game of the season. All the other games he was left in the cold. And this is what worries me under this manager. Yeah. And what I'm thinking is if you've got a good agent in charge of these kids, there may be an opportunity where they go like, well, actually, keep your options open before you sign on the dotted line. Because under this manager, you don't know how you're going to develop.
Yeah.
There's no proof that this manager's developed anyone.
Yeah.
And the manager's under pressure and he could be gone by Christmas anyway. So that could be do you think that's another factor? Why?
That's what I'm trying to say. That it could be that. As I said, unless we're agents, we get in there and see what's really going on. It could be a number. It could be a number of things that could be doing it. But I think you're right in saying in terms of the way Mikel Arteta manages young players, and we've seen it clearly with our own eyes. You know what I mean? If you're out of sorts, you're out of sorts. You're literally just Spanish. Because when we was calling for Ethan, when Odegaard was injured, we was calling for him to come in, and he didn't bring him in. Yeah, and Odegaard missed 7 games. Okay, then when Odegaard came back, he didn't play him. It's only when Saka got injured that's when he decided, right, I'm going to play him. And when he come in, he did what he needed to do.
Everyone's played by default norms, aren't they?
That's what it is. This season basically is everything just happens by accident.
Yeah.
The Lewis-Skelly has just happened by accident. Yeah, because he wasn't good. He wasn't even planning. Yes, they went out on the tour. Remember, we went in with the smallest squad, 22-man squad, and then if you add Lewis-Skelly and you add Ethan in there, that brings it up to 24. Yeah, in terms of that. So the thing is, everything that he's done is by design and by luck. And I say by luck because what he didn't do was what he was meant to do in the transfer window. And then we come to January where everybody's screaming at the owners and saying, "Oh, we need to get that out-and-out striker, blah, blah, blah." And essentially, he actually said at the beginning of January, when questioned about it, when I think just after Saka got injured and Havertz was still playing, he was saying, well, he started talking about, are we going to expect a striker to come and give you 20 goals? We don't know. But he says, I'm happy with what I've got. He said that at the beginning of January. Yeah, people seem to forget that. Then all of a sudden, when West Ham gets injured, it's gone now. It's too late to go and get anybody. It's too late to go and get anybody. We had the chance to get Ollie Watkins. Yeah, we had the chance. Well, here we go.
Here we go. Which Normski segue straight into my next thing. This is another thing, okay? Arsenal withdraw from bidding for striker as Arteta rules him out. Gunners face Lewis-Skelly disaster. Well, we know the Lewis-Skelly disaster. We've just spoken about it. I think personally, just to wrap the Lewis-Skelly thing up, I think there will be big clubs after him. I think he's a brilliant young talent. And also, any decent manager can see this kid being an absolute wonder of a midfield player. To me, he's got all the attributes of a central midfield driving force player. He gets the ball from deep. He's comfortable in tight situations. He can drive forward. He can open the game up. For me, if any manager of any sorts gets hold of this kid, that kid will be a top midfield player. Not fullback. I think he's wasted at fullback. I don't think his talent lies at left back. His talent lies in the central midfield attacking like a Morgan Rogers, a Morgan like Gibbs White.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's what I think. But getting onto this, Arsenal have now pulled out of the deal to sign Victor Gyokeres after making a £59 million bid for him. Did they really? Okay. Striker earlier this week. The Gunners are finally looking to bring in a new striker. Finally. The word finally, Normski, yeah? The summer, after a couple of seasons of fans, former players and pundits urging him to make an investment. Look at that face, man. Look at that lovely face, yeah? Okay? Now, Normski, couple of things here that worries me, okay? And we're gonna break it down a little bit. Number one, we know that this guy has wanted Cesco from day one, okay? Now, Berta's coming through the door. And Bert has probably looked at it and gone, well, actually, your better option is Gyokeres, right?
Yep.
He's probably gone, but I don't want Gyokeres. I want Cesco. He fits how we play, right? Yep. So, Gyokeres is not the man he wants. Now, my biggest worry is Gyokeres is a proven goal scorer, and it's what this football club needs. Because we haven't got time. We haven't got time to bed players in. We haven't got time to take our time, go around the houses, bed them in, play it. We ain't got that time. In my book, we need an out-and-out striker, horrible, nasty piece of work up front, number 9, old school style, going to run in the channels, going to get on the end of things, score goals. That is what I think we need, right? This guy doesn't want to do what the fans want, the majority of the fans, yeah? So, question to you, Normski, is it looks like we will get Cesco, and if we pay £90 million for him, I think that's way over the top because he's not proven in my book. What do you think now, going forward? when transfer windows are open, how do you think their relationship is going to be, him and Berta's, going forward?
Oh well, I know some people now. I think is it Views? Views was on another show and he was calling him Bert. He's taking the A off now and he's calling him Bert. Now the problem is we've heard this thing about, you know, there's a bit of what's the name in the camp between Berta and Arteta, being the fact that Arteta wants Cesco, Berta thinks that Gyokeres is the man to help us hit the ground running. We're not a project no more. Yeah, no. We're not a project no more. So, you know, you're 5 years in the process 1-5, whatever you want to call it. We're past that now.
It's not about processes.
It's not about processes no more. But you see what happened here, and the fact is, listen, we knew that Cesco was linked with us last season, the season before, and I think we wanted to get him in January, but I think because obviously we were desperate now, and they said no, there's probably a gentleman's agreement for him to go. So I probably think that the deal was done already, and I know some people are saying that, you know, what's Berta there for then? At the end of the day, what is Berta there for? And we've kind of gone back and said, listen, give Arteta what he wants, yeah, just give him what he wants, and hopefully that will help him hang himself. Give him the long rope, yeah, and that will hopefully end up him hanging himself. Because at the end of the day, it's just so underwhelming when you hear a guy that scored 13 goals, right, and I think 5 or 6 assists. Yeah, I think he's the 9th highest goal scorer. There are midfielders. There's midfielders scoring more goals than this guy.
Yeah, it's a risk. It's a risk.
It's a massive risk because we don't know. He's 6'5". Everybody wants to compare him to Ibrahimovic. Yeah.
No.
But you see what it is, though. You see what's going to happen. They're going to long this thing out, right? DJB. They're going to long this thing out and make it really build up momentum. Sky are going to be involved with it because Arsenal are in bed with Sky anyway. Yeah, and the only reason why I say that, there's a thing I found. I just want to kind of share. Let me find it here. I think I took a screenshot of it, and what they're basically saying, and Sky does this, right? So what they're doing, they're comparing Victor Gyokeres and Benjamin Cesco when they were younger. So at the age of 17, right? And this is what Sky does. So they're putting this notion into these young fans' head. He said, at the age of 17, Victor Gyokeres scored 13 goals, right? They compared that to what Cesco scored at 17, 21 goals, right? These are clubs where they were playing for under 21 sides or whatever, under 15.
Right. So Cesco was more prolific at a younger age.
Yeah, I'm going to just give you all the stats, right? But watch what they're doing, yeah? At age 18, Gyokeres scored 5 goals. At age 18, Cesco scored 11 goals. See what they're doing, DJ CB. See what they're doing, yeah? At age 19, Gyokeres scored 7 goals. At age 19, Cesco scored 18 goals. At age 20, Gyokeres scored 7 goals. At age 20, Cesco scored 18 goals or 16 goals, but eyesight's not that brilliant. And at 21, Gyokeres scored 3 goals, and Cesco scored 21 goals, and that was in the 24-25 season. That's in all games now. That's all games, right? But they're doing it when Gyokeres was at the same age as what's the name? Remember, Cesco is 21 now. Why are they comparing them at that young age when now Gyokeres has scored 30 whatever goals, 39 goals?
Prolific, isn't he?
He's prolific. So what's happened is that Cesco has digressed and Gyokeres has gone like that.
Yeah.
But they won't tell you that. Yeah. So all of a sudden now, Cesco is a better all-rounder footballer. That at the end of the day, I get it. But the main aim, when Pep went and got Ireland, what was his main aim? Get the ball in the back of the net.
Go and score goals.
Why they won 2 back-to-back Premier League.
All we need.
4p.
But the reason why, Norms, he can't, again, and you have to question his coaching and his managerial nous and his in-game management. The reason why he wants Cesco is because it doesn't need much coaching, because he will play the system that's already in place.
That's right.
Yeah. If he then goes and gets a Gyokeres or someone similar, he's got to change the whole way he plays to accommodate him.
100%.
And he can't do it.
Can't do it.
He can't do it. So he's also then got to find a way of getting Havertz in the team.
Yep.
Right. And I think Havertz will eventually be a number 10. Right. And I think that's going to be an absolute disaster. That's going to be an absolute disaster. And we'll find out in due course. But this is the whole reason what this manager does. He takes the easy option because it's easier for him to accommodate Cesco rather than have a kind of Gyokeres with all the media attention around him, top goal scorer. He don't want that. He doesn't want that. He don't want to have to change the way he plays. But what he doesn't understand, Normski, right, and chat, is that the managers from the other teams already have cottoned on to the way we play. Exactly. They know how we play. This is the whole thing of signing a player that's different to what we've already got.
Yeah.
Because it changes the way we approach games. It changes the way we play. You know? Yeah. And this is what we've got to do. We've got to find a way. When you've come runners up 3 years running, and when you've been knocked out of FA Cups and Champions League semi-finals and you can't get over the line, you've got to change the way you're playing. And if that means bringing in a player that's completely different, then so be it. Yeah. And I think Berta sees that. Yeah. But unfortunately, this manager doesn't want that. But I mean, you know, it's crazy, mate. I just think it's a project. I think we'll be back here again next season, exactly the same way. Yeah. I think Cesco would be an upgraded I think he'd just be That's me personally.
He's scored the same amount of goals as Havertz from last season. Not only that, what it's going to do, right, DJB, he's going to buy him time. It's going to buy Arteta time, because what they're going to turn around and say is, okay, he's only 21 or he's going to be 22, as the chat was saying, on his next birthday. He will probably be signed for 4 years. I don't know what kind of money he's going to get, but he will probably be signed for 4 or 5 years. And what will happen is that in the first 2 years, if he doesn't hit the ground running, what essentially is going to happen is they're going to say, well, the fans are going to turn and say, you've got to give him time. You've got to give Arteta time to develop him. Yeah. That's why you're right, DJ, been saying he can't develop world-class players that have something about them. You think he could manage people like the likes of Henry, the likes of Bergkamp and all
No.
With characters. He can't.
He wouldn't sign them. He wouldn't Normski. He wouldn't sign them. That's why he didn't want Ivan Toney. Ivan Toney, out and out striker. If he'd have signed that, we could have got Ivan Toney, you know, for 40 million. This guy has been balling out in Saudi League. And people are going to go, yeah, but my nan would ball out in Saudi League. No, you wouldn't. Go and try it. Yeah. At the end of the day, go and try it. Tackles go flying in everywhere. It's like 100 odd degrees. You're playing you're playing on rock hard pitches. It's a completely different level of game. Right? Okay, the standard might not be as high as the Premiership. That's debatable. But at the end of the day, you've still got to put the ball in the back of the net. And see, my thing is, if he'd have signed Ivan Toney, I personally think we'd have won a trophy.
Yeah.
If we'd have signed a goal scorer, we'd have won a trophy.
Yeah.
But now I'm thinking, even with an out-and-out goal striker under this manager, I still think we would lack something. And I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is.
I think, DJ, I think it's just the way we play.
Yeah. It's predictable, Norms, isn't it?
That's the problem. Because you go back to 2022-23 season where, remember, nobody had us. We finished fifth where we bottled it. So the following season to Tottenham, nobody was. I think a lot of pundits had us finishing outside of the top four yet again, right? So it shows you that a lot of pundits didn't really have any faith in Arteta getting us even into the top four. Much more us challenging, staying at the top of the league for 93% of the season, and only bottoming it, you know, with an 8-point lead, right? And the thing about it is, in that 22-23 season, the football that we was playing, you was at the stadium, so you would have known, DJ. It was absolutely, you was going in there, we was blitzing teams, right? Absolutely blitzing. First 25 minutes, bang. Yeah, shut up, shot, and whatever. You know what I mean? Yeah, we might have conceded some goals, but we was just putting teams away, right? And then after that, so in that kind of system, we would have probably, if we had a Gyokeres in there, and I think it's because obviously we lost what's his name, Saliba, and Holding came in, yeah? And then everything just went kind of pear-shaped. And then when you got somebody breathing down your neck at Man City, yeah, the mentality thing, the absolute mentality thing, we just went to pot. Second, the following year, you know, we started off slow. We picked up a bit of momentum. Havertz had a bit of a purple patch just when we bought Havertz. Had a bit of a purple patch where he scored 13 goals. But we were scoring against teams like Sheffield United. We beat West Ham 6, whatever it was. Yeah,
6-2, was it?
6-2. Yeah. So all of that, yeah, where we scored, remember, 91 goals.
Went out the window.
Yeah. So you know, for me, it's a style of play now.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what, Norms? I've been saying this for ages. Yeah, I mean, big up the chat. Ivan Toney's balling out in the Prem too, but Arteta knows better. Didn't sign him and failed in the next season because we didn't win enough games to win the Premiership. Facts, my friend. You know what I mean? He was balling out in the Premiership under Thomas Frank, who has also got Mbeumo and Wissa balling out. Yeah, Thomas Frank. And people laugh at me. I'd take a punt with him at this football club.
Yep.
I'm telling you now. And, you know, people say to me, yeah, but it's a different level. He's managed at Brentford. It's different than managing at Arsenal. Well, this manager didn't manage anywhere.
Exactly.
This manager didn't manage anywhere. He didn't even manage at any non-league team. Do you know what I mean?
Where did Wenger come from? When he first took over Arsenal,
Brentford Saint, mate. No one ever heard him.
Ian Wright turned around and said, "Where?"
Yeah, exactly. He thought it was a bus stop somewhere, didn't he? Do you know what I mean? People say Thomas Frank. Yeah, I mean, listen, look at every season what he does every single season. His man management skills. There's not a player in that Brentford team that don't like working with Thomas Frank.
Oh yeah, they play. Absolutely play for that.
All right, and you've got Mbeumo, Wissa. Look what Ivan Toney. You know, there's about 3 or 4, 5, 6 players I can name in that Brentford team that Thomas Frank gets the best out of every season in, season out. Listen, I'm not saying it would be my ideal choice as a football manager at the football club. You know, I'd like Conte. Personally, I was gutted when he went to Tottenham. I wanted him at Arsenal. But listen, you have to give credit where credit's due, and I'm all for that. You know, I'm a football fan, and I'll give any team credit, even Spurs credit for what they've done this season, winning that cup, because that's what they set out to do. Even though their league form, even though it hurt like hell. Do you know what I mean? But listen,
he said it in his second season. He always wins, and he's dropped the mic.
Big up, man. Big up, Static. Yeah, no, it's fine. But I mean, yeah, no, big up the chat. Make sure you subbed. If you haven't subbed, why not? It all helps, and you just hit that sub button, and that'll be great stuff. If you want to smash the likes as well. I don't know if we've got Normski's. I think I've got moderators. I mean, I've put them on my system. If we've got a moderator, get Normski's up in there, because get Normski up as well, because he's an absolute legend. Well done, the chat. Mateta and Palace would be a better signing than Cesco. Facts.
No.
You know, the chat, honestly, absolute class, guys. Thank you very much for joining me on a Saturday afternoon. I know it's a bit depressing this Saturday afternoon because it's the Champions League final and we are not in it. But Mateta, what he's proved this season, from what I've seen from Mateta, yeah. But again, he's not Arteta's type of player, is he? No, can't get the best out of him. But why can the Crystal Palace manager get the best out of him? This guy had fallen off of a cliff before the Crystal Palace manager came in.
Exactly, because
they signed Normski. They signed Eddie Nketiah because Mateta couldn't hit the banjo, mate. And yet this manager's come in. And look what he turned him into.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mateta isn't a fashion model, mate. Nah, probably facts there. Normski over Cesco. Normski all day long over anyone, mate. I tell you, Normski all day long over Cesco. 100%. Big up you. But it will be a good final. Yeah, I think it will be a good final. Like, it's going to be an interesting one. If Inter can get over the line, you got to take your hat off, because some of those players, mate.
Yeah.
If you knock up with players like Mkhitaryan in a final and win it, I'm telling you now.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, to see what he done against Barcelona, I mean, it was like old school football, backwards and forwards. You know what I mean? And normally, what's name plays. He's more pragmatic than things, but he can change it up because literally, he was just waiting from Barcelona, hit them on the break.
But Normski, right? That's that again. It comes down to in-game management, doesn't it? Top managers change things during the game. They take a chance. They gamble. Yeah. Simply Ace, big up Simply Ace. I thought you guys were going for Gyokeres. Yeah, so did I.
That's what we thought.
That's what we thought, my friend. But this is what worries me, and this is people saying about Berta. And I was listening to Aaron earlier on. Big up Aaron. Aaron always talks. Aaron talks Arsenal. Absolute legend. Sub to his channel as well. He was starting to get on Berta's case and going like, and I'm starting to think to myself, well, what's the point of him? If this manager's coming in and still getting his own way and still having the whole say on who comes to the club, you've got to ask questions about Berta coming in, man, Yep. Why is he there? If he's still getting his own way, why is he there? You know what I mean? AFC, always my friend. Thank you very much. Can you get Normski's channel get the link pinned? That'd be fantastic.
I'm going to try and see if I can put it into the channel, into the link.
Yeah, put it in, my friend. Normski, can you end your own, because I've typed your name in the profile with a bomb. Big up the chat. Honestly, this is what it's all about. Listen, I'm just trying to build a nice, happy community in here. It's a lot of my chats are just going to be laid back, nice and chilled. And we're just going to talk about a whole range of things throughout the summer, guys. So, it's frustrating, man. It's so frustrating every season. I'm really getting fed up with it, mate. I just want a striker. I just want a striker and a new manager. That's not a lot to ask, is it? When I'm just renewing the season ticket at £1,400. Eh?
That's all we asked for. You know what I mean?
You know what I mean? For 50 years I've been watching this team. It's not a lot to ask, is it, for a striker and a new manager?
Wow, that's it. It's just all.
And why can't I? But now, moving on. Norks. Another thing I want to talk about is the players. We just go through a little. We're just going to go through it, right? We're just going to go through it. Ratings this season. Who do you think is? Let me see. Who would you say the most improved player has been this season at Arsenal?
Most improved player. I'd have to say. God.
It's a tough one, isn't it? Because he ain't improved many, is he?
Yeah, that's the thing.
I mean, I agree with this one. I mean, I said this the other day when I was on DJ's channel. I said Timber. I think and Timber has probably been our most improved player.
I mean, coming back from an ACL,
and
the amount of games that he's played,
Gabriel.
It's absolutely crazy. Yeah.
Here it is, Guy Normski TV.
It's Lewis-Skelly.
Sorry, Norms, 1 sec. Make sure you sub to this man, Normski TV at Normski TV 5T. Is that 52B?
Yeah, I think something like that. Yeah,
get and sub, guys. Get and sub. Yeah, no, sorry, Norms. What were you saying? You think? I mean, when you think ACL injury, what do you reckon, my friend?
I mean, I can't believe. I mean, obviously now he's had to have an op on his ankle, but I think I definitely put him right up there, and then Lewis-Skelly.
Yeah,
definitely those two. But it's really tough though, DJB, to find anybody else. And to me, you look at the defense. You look at it, and it's really in the defense where Lewis-Skelly has just hit leaps and bounds. But nobody would have, as I said earlier on in the show, no one would have thought this guy would be, doing what he's doing, this season for us, and going and getting a call up from the England and scoring.
Yeah, no, I mean, you've moved mildly. I mean, the Arsenal Pulse, big up the Arsenal Pulse every time, mate. Skelly, for me, most improved. broke into the first teams, starting Champions League games and bossing Haaland. I mean, he came in as like a duck to water, didn't he? I mean, that's a good point now. I mean, he has probably most improved. Definitely the best youngster around at Arsenal. Player of the season, mate. Player of the season. Who would you give it to? I mean, I would give it to Raya, personally.
Yeah, he's saved us. he has saved us. I mean, yeah, he is. I mean, how many times he's had a sort of man of the match? Yeah, I think between him, it's got to be him. I'll tell you who's played well as well, Thomas Partey. But
good shout. Good shout. Let's see who we've got in the chat. Let's see what the chat reckon. We've got Gabrielle, Tommy Asu.
AI brother.
He'd probably been the player of the season cutting up the oranges.
Yeah.
Raya, we've got Raya, Timber and Partey. Yeah. I mean, Partey's a good shout. Jury and Timber there. Who else we got? A lot for Jury and Timber for player of the season. Yeah. I'm going to say Raya Gold. You know, he has saved us a lot. However, like a lot of the players, when we got, you know, he did start making he's towards the end. He's passing. He's sort of ball out of defence started to take a little bit of a tumble, but I mean, he's made some fantastic saves. I mean, he's made some mistakes, but then all goalkeepers make the mistakes. But I think he's been a sort of 8, 9 out of 10 most games, hasn't he? Really. I'd have said Rice. If Rice had started the season the way he ended, I'd have said Rice. But we're going to go with Raya, but a lot of people are going Timber, and I understand that. He's been outstanding considering he's had a comeback from a horrific injury. Right. The player that's gone down the hill the most this season. Here's one for you, Normski. Who do you think has been the most disappointing player in Arsenal this season? Come on, chat. Who do you think?
It's got to be. Well, forget Sterling. He didn't turn up. It's got to be between Martinelli and Odegaard.
Yeah. Do you know what? I'm going to say, God, I can't believe I asked this question. It's a tough one, but it's not really. I'm going to say Odegaard.
Yeah.
When you think he's Arsenal captain, and the games he's got to step up in, and he just hasn't stepped up at all, has he? Let's be honest. You know, when you think you needed your captain in a lot of these big games, and he just hasn't stepped up, has he? He really hasn't. You know, he's gone missing in a lot of the games. Mind you, he does step up against Southampton, didn't he? Last game of the season.
Yeah, but that's what you call a no pressure.
No pressure FC, wasn't it?
Yeah, no pressure FC. He always turns up then. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you got to remember also, well, DJ, but he did have a baby and he was breastfeeding as well.
Oh, yeah, that's it. Yeah. It puts a lot of pressure when you're on 350 odd. When you're on 200 odd grand a week and you have a baby, it's a lot of pressure on you, isn't it? Norms.
But you know what? In saying all of that, I think Shane made a very good point.
Big up Shane Laguna.
And he said that, you know, when you look at Odegaard, you can see that mentally he weren't there. He looked quite gaunt as well.
Yeah.
That's down to the manager now. Because after a while, there's only so much you can criticize the player, but the manager needed to have taken him out the firing line, which he didn't do.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%, mate. 100%.
And the thing is, when the guy was playing really bad, you had Ethan sitting on the bench.
Yeah.
This is why he cannot. His man management skill is just not there. It's not there at all.
I don't get it. I mean, even the level of football I've played, and I've played sort of decent football, like semi-professional and stuff like that. And I remember when even at my amateur days, I was going through a tough time and playing like crap. And the manager took me out of it, and he said, "Look, you know, I'm going to drop you for a couple of games. I'm going to drop you for a couple of games," and he'd rotate me and put me in a different position or something, you know. Yeah. And you just think to yourself, like, and he'd try something different. Try something different with a player. You know what I mean? But he hasn't. He's stuck with him, And he's just fallen off of a cliff, hasn't he? Let's be honest. He's completely fallen off of a cliff.
And then
which is a shame. Followed by Martinelli, followed by Trossard.
Yeah.
They're the three. Yeah,
three attacking the players. I mean, Trossard, I think there was even a falling out. I mean, at one point we thought that he was going to leave the club. Now they're offering him some sort of deal, which is quite strange, but probably it's like that. Maybe they're probably looking at maybe selling. As I say, we haven't got into the transfer bit yet, but there's maybe a possibility that he will be looking at selling Martinelli, who we only bought for $7 million. So we're going to make some kind of money off him, but then we need to go and fix that left-hand side. That's the problem at the moment, because that left-hand side has been neglected.
Now this is listen. We can debate about our footballers at all, but if this is true, if his child is having health problems, I mean, that would affect anyone in any job. So I'm hoping that is not true. I'm hoping his baby and his child is 100%. But if it is, then it's down to the manager again to take him out the firing line.
Manage it.
Man manage it. Absolutely. And this is it. You got to man manage these players. You have to. They're like babies themselves, these players now. Gone are them days where they're strolling out.
Social media. Unfortunately, they look at social media and they need to be, validated. You know what I mean? Then back in the day, they didn't need validation. They just went out and did what they needed to do on the pitch. You know what I'm saying? They let their football do the talking, but social media has ruined football. Yeah, and as soon as they come off the pitch, the first thing they're gonna do, go and look at their phones, look at their Insta posts, wherever it is. Yeah, they're either gonna get complimentary or they're gonna get abused. You know what I mean? Even to the point where some footballers have to turn off their comments and whatever because of the abuse that they're getting. And the abuse, if it's what's the name, criticism, I get it. But if you're starting to have a go at their family and all that, that's out of order, because that affects them mentally and all of that. You know what I mean? So
No, you're 100% there, Norms. You're 100% right. This one's a really easy one, mate. This one's a really easy one. Worst signing. You got to think, mate. You got to really think.
I've got something for you. Did you say worst signing?
Yeah.
Okay. Hold on a minute. Listen, guys in the chat, please forgive me. Yeah, please forgive me.
I don't know if share the screen.
I've done this before. I've done this before, but you're gonna have to forgive me. Hopefully, it won't interfere with the green screen. Okay. So the worst player.
Hang on, Norm. Go on. Hang on. Can we see that? Let's have a look. Is that the Raheem the Dream?
That's Raheem the Dream.
I don't know if you say that, Norm. I don't think you say that, man.
I met Raheem the Dream in
You met him?
Yeah, that's it. I took a picture with him, innit? So people, listen, I tried to speak to him. I said, Raheem, wagwan. Yeah, let me just bring the Jamaican. I say, what? Come on, man. You need to fix up. Yeah. Some people said I was his client. Yeah, he's my client. He's not my client. Yeah. The man just, he said, yo. But I said, no, he's got to be the worst signing.
I think he's got to go down as one of the worst signings ever, and he knows.
Worse than Willian.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Do you know what I mean? I've been doing history shows with Kenny Ken and Jez, right? And big up Jez and Kenny Ken, as always, absolute legends. Make sure you tune into Jez's show as well. And we went through different signings and all of that, and we've been through some howlers, Franny Jeffers. Oh mate, I can off the top of my head, honestly, we've done a whole show on it, and I can't think of one. I can't think of one worse than Raheem Sterling.
Yeah, no.
Even the Yaya Sonogos and people like this rocking up. Pascal Sigens.
At least Sonogo contributed in the FA Cup, so you know what I mean.
Do you know what I mean? Pascal Sigens and all of these men.
Senderos.
I can't think of anyone worse than Sterling.
Yeah.
And is that Sterling's fault? Because this man brought him to the club promising him He's worked with him. Again, has he been mismanaged?
This is the problem, you know what I mean? But you could see when he did come on.
No, he's worse than Kallstrom, my guy.
Scalacci?
Yeah, no, he's worse than him.
Yeah. No, I mean, he came on the pitch, just didn't see nothing from him. Do you know what I mean? Just did not see nothing for him.
No.
Completely the Sterling of, you know, the Liverpool day, when he went to Man City, and the fact that he's gone to Chelsea, and Chelsea have turned around and say, you're not even part of our first team. And they pick up the phone on deadline day and say, all right, sling your, get over here, mate.
Yeah, no, facts, man.
And then you got Arteta saying, as soon as I heard him on the phone, I knew he was the man. Come on, man. Come on. Let's, you know, Sterling, you know.
Oh, yeah, it was sad, wasn't it? I mean, I listen, again, I don't know. Can you feel sorry for Sterling? Big wages. He's just lived on. Yeah, he's just.
I mean, when he goes back to, because remember, I think he's still got about a year, 2 years on his free contract. So, you know, they're probably either going to loan him out again, because the sort of money that is, I don't think no team are going to be able to buy him.
Yeah.
No way.
No. I'll tell you who else I'm worried about as well, Norms. I don't know about you, right? But the last couple of games, I suppose the last sort of 6-7 games, right, Norms?
Saliba.
I've been worried about Saliba.
Yep.
I think his body language. I think the body language, the way he's played. I just don't think he's been on it, you know. I don't know what it is. I don't know whether he's just got bored of the season, that he ain't won nothing.
Yeah.
Park Chu Young. I've got to be honest. Yeah, come on, chat. You're bringing out some howlers now, mate. We're depressed enough. But I don't know. What's quick thoughts on Saliba? Because I don't know whether his head's been turned, whether he wants to stay at the club.
I mean,
before we come in, it'd be interesting, right, to see how Saliba starts the season if he's at Arsenal. What's your thoughts, my friend?
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. He's had that bozo gene. You know what I mean? Out of the two, Saliba's that kind of cool-headed character, whatever. I mean,
facts.
He was asked in a press conference, just because the man says, like, you know, I want to win cups with Arsenal and that. Listen, you have to say that. You know what I mean? But the reality is, he's looking at Real Madrid over there. He knows that he's going to be playing with the likes of Mbappe. Remember, he was known as the French Mbappe defender. That's what he was known as when he was playing on loan over in France. And I think as soon as Real Madrid come knocking, I mean, at the moment, they're going to be in contract talks with Saliba, but I think that's on hold at the moment. Does he sit it out? You know, he's got 2 years. Is it 2 years he's got left? He's obviously Do they turn around and say to him, listen, just hang fire, see it out? And now all of a sudden Arsenal now are scrambling, need to offer him or whatever, a decent contract or whatever. But I think Saliba's going to be looking and seeing who we're going to be bringing in. And when he probably sees Cesco coming in, as opposed to Gyokeres, he's thinking, has this club really got any ambition? When I can be playing in a warmer climate, and be playing with some top players. You know,
and he's going off to France, and he's playing with men like Mbappe's, and he's seeing all these players around him.
They're going to talk.
Yeah, of course they are. 100%. Do you know what? I honestly believe, Normski, that next season could make or break this football club for many years to come, you know. Because if we do not win anything next season with players that we possibly bring in, and the players that we've got whose contracts are running out, I'm telling you now, even Starboy, even Saka will think about, hang on, do I want to be another Harry Kane?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
DJB, do you think the net is closing in on Arteta, right? With the fact that Berta's come in, hopefully he's going to put some sort of pressure on there. There's a certain part of the fan base like us that are pushing and saying this is not good enough. Now you're finding out there's pundits like, well, we know Henry calls him out all the time. Yeah, there's a number of pundits now starting to say, hang on a minute, man, you're pulling the wool over our eyes here. But do you think if we go and get this Cesco deal, does that buy more time, or will it be a case of, because at the end of the day, you know, what I mean, we're saying, as Henri said, we're meant to be building this building, and you've got Man United who have been in 5 finals and won 2 or 3 of them. Yeah, and we're still building. Yeah, we ain't been in a final since 2020. Right. So what is going on? And Henri was right to ask the question. Just like us, we are asking the question: why are we in this situation where we cannot get it over the line?
Yeah. Do you know what I think, Noms? Right. I think if he signs Cesco, I think what that's doing is putting more added pressure on him, and he's already under it.
Right.
Because most of the fans, even the Arteta in fans, would rather Gyokeres or a similar ilk player to come into the club, right? So I think by signing Cesco, he's adding more pressure on himself because he's got to deliver.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't deliver under Cesco, then he's really written his own chapter. As far as I'm concerned. I said it way back in December, January time when I was on Lee Gunner's stream. The legend there, Captain Lee Gunner. I said it on his stream. I reckon he'd be gone by Christmas. I still stand by Arteta gone by Christmas, January.
Yeah.
You know, if we're all sitting down celebrating Christmas or the holidays, if you celebrate Christmas or not, if we are not in and around top of the league or even top of the league come Christmas, I think
out of domestic cups as well.
Yeah, you know, I think it could be. I think it could be curtains for this guy. I think he's put added pressure on himself. If he'd have signed Gyokeres, I reckon you'd have had certain fan base go, right, okay, let's give him another chance.
Right,
he's
okay.
an out-and-out striker. Let's see what happens. But the fact that he's ignoring Berta and he's ignoring the majority of the fans, and it's what he wants, he's now already putting pressure on himself to deliver. Because now he's got the added pressure of, this is my man. And this is what worries me. He's still got too big a say with his football club.
Yeah, yes, he's still got too much power.
He's still got too much power. Do you know what I mean?
The thing is, then, that's why we kind of go back to what we were saying earlier on, is that maybe, yes, people are saying, well, what's the point of Berta being there if, you know, he's the one that's in charge of the contracts and, you know, identifying the players. But I think Berta's probably turned around, and we don't know. We're just making.
I reckon he set a trap. I reckon Berta's gone, look, okay, it's my first season. I've only just walked through the door.
Yeah.
You have what you want.
You know what it is as well, DJ?
I reckon he's gone to the Cronkies. Listen, we're letting him have what he wants, but I'm telling you now, it's not what's best for the club.
Yeah.
I reckon he's going to fall on his sword, mate, big time. That's what I hope, anyway.
And I think as fans like us, I think we're prepared to go through that pain again, just for him to, 93 could have got Arsenal, Gyokeres, and Dilap.
Look at this. 93 million, apparently. Could have got Gyokeres and Dilap. How good a squad player would have Dilap been?
Yeah. Playing in, Ipswich, 12 goals.
Yeah.
You know, playing in a better side, you know what I mean, with the service. Well, I say with the service because the way we play sometimes, you know what I mean, I wonder. But, we talk about chances.
No, it's crazy. It's crazy. But anyway, man, let's move on to the next bit, right? And I know we want to wrap up because we've got the Champions League coming. You want to get your takeaways in and your beers. You want to watch. You all want to watch, saying to yourself, that should have been us. I know, chat. Firstly, I want to say big up, chat. Thank you very much. Really appreciated. Sub and smash the likes. But here we go, guys. Here we go. Look, fan team of the season. Do we agree or disagree? Yeah, Sells in goal. Who you got? Hunes. You got Saliba in now. I don't agree with that. I think one of the Forest centre halves should have been in now. Yeah. Van Dijk. Yep. Gyokeres. Yep. Salah. Yep. Gavin Birch. I'd have probably gone. I'd have probably gone McAllister. Yeah. Would you have gone Rice?
You know what? I think he probably only got in there because of his 2 free kicks.
Yeah, they're saying Cesco in here.
Yeah, that's I would say that.
Yeah, if he's Chelsea, not Rice. See, a lot of people are saying not Rice. No, I don't know, man. And then he's got Wood and Isak up front. I'll tell you what, Chris Wood's been a good shout, hasn't he? Look what he's done for Forest.
20 goals.
Yeah. Do you know what? I was trying to go through all the players that have really excited me all season, and I would take Rice out and exactly the chat. Well done, Joseph, my man. I would have definitely gone for Tonali.
Oh, yes, Tonali, yes.
Yeah, it's a good shout. Where is he, Joseph? There he is, man.
Yeah,
Joseph Connor Golden, man. Well done, thank you. Yeah, Tonali's a good shout. Bruno, another one. I'm surprised there's no more Newcastle players in there. Yeah. Eze should have got in there.
It's a good shout.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Listen, I'm a big Declan Rice fan. I think he's fantastic. I think he's old school. I think that guy. I think if you paid him a tenner a week, he'd play football. Seriously, do you know what I mean? I think he's old school, mate. He's definitely old school. He should be our captain. There's no doubt about that. He's a leader. He should be our captain. But that's another topic, guys. But unfortunately, sorry, Declan, but there's probably 2, maybe 3, maybe 4 midfield players that I would get in before you. Do you know what I mean? Are you happy with that forward line? Would you go Wood and Isak?
Yeah, they are good. Definitely.
Isak, definitely.
Yeah.
Wood, don't know, chat. What do you reckon?
You know, people.
I would go Wood. I think he's been.
He's done well.
What about Wissa though? Oh, Wissa's more midfielder, isn't
he? So he doesn't play up front.
How about, I'm going to throw another one in there. What about Morgan Gibbs-White? Would you have stuck him in? Gibbs-White?
Yeah, is he in there? Is he McAllister? Yeah,
McAllister's another one, isn't he? Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
Some people saying Gordon.
Yeah, Gordon, yeah. We've also got, I tell you what, who started the season well, drifted out a little bit, sort of come February time, but Gakpo, he started the season really well. I mean, he looked really dangerous when we played him. Do you know what I mean? Look, Morgan Rogers over Rice, yeah. Guardiola, yeah. And it's funny, right? Looking at this, right? Fans season of the year, and it's funny. There's no City players.
That's what I'm looking at it now. Yeah, there's no City players.
That's amazing, isn't it? Who'd have thought there'd be no Man City players in there, man? That's crazy, isn't it?
They've been terrible, though.
Not even Haaland.
No.
Timber.
They've been right off the pace, man.
Yeah.
We just didn't take advantage of that, and Liverpool said, "Right, thank you very much. I'll hold my beer." Yeah, while we go and win the league.
Yeah. I'm surprised Tommy Asu ain't made it.
Yeah, I am too.
Do you know what I mean? No, real talk. I'm surprised old Tommy Asu ain't stepped up. He's probably got the injury. He's probably made the injury list of the year, hasn't he? Tommy Asu. Hasn't he? Big up the chat, man. Honestly, thank you very, very much. Make sure you sub, smash the likes. Come on, it does help.
I can't thank it. Bruno Fernandes.
Yeah. Bruno. I'll tell you what. I'm not a big Bruno fan, but he's carried that Man United team, hasn't he, this year?
He's actually like the captain, yeah, compared to our one.
Yeah, I mean Bruno has carried that team, you know. I wouldn't say... Yeah, I mean, if Watkins had started the season... if he'd have ended the season like he started it, big up Luke James. If he'd have started the season, ended the season how he started it, then Watkins would have been a shout. But I don't think you can argue with them two.
No, Yeah.
Wouldn't he sack, to be honest? I'm trying to think.
There's definitely a question mark over Declan. I think
Salah, definitely. I think the question marks in that there, for me, ironically, are the two Arsenal players.
Yeah, Saliba and Rice.
I don't think Saliba's done quite enough to make team of the season, and I don't think Rice has.
What about the Bournemouth defender, the one that's gone to Real Madrid?
Oh,
what's his name?
You talking to defending? What, Kluivert, the midfield player?
No, the defender for Bournemouth.
Oh, what's his name?
Is it?
Come on, chat, help us out. Who's the Bournemouth defender going to? Is it Hoyson?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's another shout and all. Good player. Yeah. Thanks, chat. No, well done. Yeah, but look at the Bournemouth players as well. Yeah. Kluivert's had a good season, hasn't he? Semenyo.
They got the left back guy in there.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
But now he's gone to Liverpool, isn't
he? Yeah, Liverpool's going to have some team next season, man, aren't they?
Oh man,
if they get Verts, there's my man Prome. Big up Prome. Normski, you're in there, look.
Oh,
he's got you there, man.
Big up to you, brother.
Big up the Prome. Big up the real one. Big up everyone in the chat, man. This is what it's all about. We're building a community here. Welcome to the community, my friends. Welcome to the community. All of yous. Love, and yeah, I hope you're all well, guys, and whatever you're doing, I hope you're all well, man. It's been an interesting season, though, but I mean, like all of these things, isn't it? The fan season, it's hard to pick 11, and it's hard to pick your first 11. You can't argue with the top two. I think the only question marks really, I don't know, I think Gravenberch to me is a bit of a question mark as well. He's done brilliant for Liverpool, but I don't know. I think there's been.
I think people would have probably put McAllister instead of Gravenberch. I mean, he has started off well because of what Slot has done with him.
Yeah,
didn't have a holding midfielder, did they? So he's played. Yeah. It's almost like this kind of, in the 8, playing in the 6. Like, I mean, it's I mean, he's got him playing like as a hybrid 6-8.
Yeah.
So Slot has done good with it, but I think
manager of the season. Then who would you have managed? All right, everyone says Arne Slot, didn't he? Because he won. Okay, but take away the Liverpool manager for obvious reasons. Who would be your second choice to manage this team? Applies to you, chat. You can join in on this one as well.
I tell you, I know you dropped off, but Nuno for Nottingham Forest. If you think about where he's taking Nottingham Forest from, I mean, had them up in that top 4 for a long time. I mean, obviously dropped off a little bit.
Yeah.
Would you have Nuno? Eddie Howe's a good shout.
Eddie Howe, yeah, I would say Eddie Howe. What about Areola?
Yeah, I mean,
Glasner. Look, we've got Glasner there. I mean, look at these managers that are coming out right, Norms. We're talking about our Arteta on 15 million a year, by the way, chat. 15 million a year.
15.6.
Yeah. And here we go. I've just thrown out there the manager you would have, apart from the obvious Arnie, from Liverpool. Bless up Liverpool. And I hope everyone's well. I hope the fans are all good, like all the fans in the chat from everywhere. Oh, by the way, while I'm talking about fans in the chat, good luck to the non-league playoff tomorrow, Southend and co. Southend, can I just say 30,000 fans plus going from Essex for that playoff final tomorrow. So good luck to everyone. It just goes to show that lower league football, there's also fans that are just as passionate. So big up all those fans from lower leagues as well. Yeah, when you go through, right, £15 million our managers on, right, Normski, and we've got people coming in the chat saying Glasner, Eddie Howe, all of these managers that would manage this team. None of them have said Arteta.
Oh. Because the guy just does the same thing over.
None of them have said Arteta.
Yeah.
Eddie Howe, Glasner. Yeah, Thomas Frank. You know what I mean?
And I think a lot of it is because it's down to a lot of these managers that have the experience.
Yeah.
You see, if these managers had the kind of the thing is, DJB, if these managers had the kind of money Arteta had to spend, yeah, and that's where it's very sad. And we're going into this summer window, yeah. Potentially, Arteta will have spent nearly £1 billion, right? Potentially, right, and we could potentially not win another trophy this season or win the Premier League. Because when you spend that kind of money, listen, I hear it. Chelsea spent £1.5 billion in 2 windows, right? And for them, we know Chelsea or a team, especially under Abramovich, yeah, they changed managers like the weather. But what it gave them was results, yeah. They've obviously changed their model in terms of how the team is managed now, and how it looks, the whole character of the team and everything like that. So for them to celebrate top 4, everybody was having a go at them, blah, blah, blah. But I think now that they're in top 4, I think they're going to be able to attract some decent players in there. They've got a lot of young players.
Yeah.
In their group. So, Maresca, is managed slightly longer than Arteta in terms of actually managing the team. You've got to understand that Arteta, all he's done is just being a cone man for Pep. Yeah. And all that's happened is that the owners have said, right, we're going to take a gamble on this guy, bring him into the 3rd biggest club in the country. I always use this analogy, DJB, yeah? And if anybody in the chat don't know about this, right, anybody know what a Robin Reliant is? Yeah, it's a 3-wheeler car, yeah? Right? Robin Reliant, yeah? And I used to say this on my streams when I used to talk. I said, what they've done, they gave the key, right, and said to Arteta, you see the Robin Reliant, don't worry about that. You see down the road, there's an 18-wheel juggernaut, yeah? I want you to go and drive that, yeah? All right? I want you to go and drive that. That's what we are, an 18-wheel juggernaut, and Arteta decided that he's going to take the keys and jump in that car. And for him, it's been a journey. There's been some crashes along the way, yeah? But we haven't got over the line. We've still not hit our destination. Guys, it's about the destination. It's about the journey, guys, not the destination. What do you mean?
Yeah.
Get to the destination. It's time for us. 6 years in, it's going to be nearly £1 billion spent. I want to see this next.
Yeah. That's exactly what we are, isn't it? We're only fools and horses at the moment, this club, man. That's exactly what we are. Only fools and horses. What honestly?
Yes, chat. Tell us who the horse is. If it's fools and horses, who is the horse?
You've got a settings, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? That's what it is.
Yeah, in the chat, tell us who the horse is. Yeah?
We're wheeling and dealing. We're shopping at Lidl's and all sorts, man. It's all comes crumbling down. There's Cesco. Cesco's going to end up at Man United or somewhere like that, and he's going to come to the Emirates and bang in 2 goals or something like that. It's going to happen, don't you?
What I would say, TJB, all we could do now.
Gyokeres is going to end up somewhere, man. He's going to come strolling in at the Emirates. He's going to smash in 2 goals, isn't you? And Cesco will be on the bench, and we'll be playing Havertz or Marino up front as in number 9.
So DJB, problem, right? If and when Cesco does come, right? The first game of the season, who do you want to see starting up front?
Well, if he's paying 93 million for Cesco, it's got to be an upgrade on Havertz, isn't it? Right, Cesco straight away.
Okay, so if he starts Havertz up front, we have a big problem.
Oh, major problem, mate. Major problem. I mean, I'm not even happy with Zubimendi coming to the club. I think he's the same.
Yeah.
Where's the improvement on Zubimendi? It's going to be sideways and backwards.
The phase of spruced up Jorginho. That's all it is.
All it is, yeah. He's just a younger version of Jorginho. I want someone exciting. I want a Gibbs White, a Rodgers.
Oh gosh, man.
I want Skelly in midfield, getting hold of the ball and driving forward.
Yep.
Yeah. I want excitement again. I was bored last season, Normski. Bored.
Yeah, that's one thing I can definitely say about last season. The amount of times I've heard people, I've spoken with friends, I've rang them, and they've saying, I said, how do you think the game is going? He goes, I haven't been watching it, I've been sleeping.
Yeah. Well, I've just got my sleeping bag back, Norman, to wash it, ready for next season, mate. It's just arrived. Yeah. It's just arrived. DHL, sleeping bag, pillar, from the East Stand, ready to go in the wash, ready for next season. You know, honestly, mate, I don't know where we're going
He's
with
gonna
it,
have
but
to-
this, honestly, Norms, it's been great. But no, I mean, oh yeah. To wrap up, I mean, what can we say? What can we say? It's gonna be hard watching that Champions League tonight. For me, it's going to be difficult. I hope PSG win it, but then again, I don't, because you know what the top gooners will say? Oh, we got beat by the European champions.
Yeah. So
There's always an excuse.
So we must have improved.
Yeah, there's always an angle, isn't there? There's always something in it with them.
Yeah.
Why can't they just be like normal people and hold their hands up and say the manager needs to go?
Honestly, what it is that the problem with this club is that we don't hold Arteta accountable. We make excuses after excuses after excuses. We move the goalposts. I'll say this analogy again, right? When you go to watch a football match, right, DJB, where are the goalposts? Where are the goalposts? When you go to watch down the Emirates, where the goalposts normally situated?
In front of the pitch on the line, on the goal line.
Okay, so with these top fans, right, they're normally probably on the corner flag.
Yeah,
right?
Or on the halfway line, they move them.
They move them. That's what it is.
Oh, dear Lord.
They move the goalposts to suit their narrative. Yeah.
Oh.
And they can't. And we've had this discussion about Arteta. Is this a cult? Yeah. Is it a cult? Well, I'm telling you, guys. Yeah. You can't say nothing wrong against this guy. You've got the greatest legend of our club in Thierry Henry asking in a 3-minute slot, because they took that 3-minute slot and answered the question as why are we not in a final? Why haven't we won something? He's only asking a question. Right? And everybody's going at him. Crazy.
Yeah, I know, my friend. I know. But I mean, yeah, no, to wrap it up, I still think there'll be some signings going out the door. And do you know what? It's been an amazing chat. Absolutely amazing chat. And for the chat that's been in. Normski, you're an absolute legend, my friend. And thank you. Honestly, I can't thank you enough. Bless up, man.
No, it's been an absolute pleasure coming.
No, it's been good, isn't it, mate? It's been good. It's just a laid back, nice, easy chat, isn't it?
Yeah, man. My debut, and you know, I'll be welcome on again. I hope the chat will welcome you.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Oh, DJB, Pedri or Bellingham? Pedri.
Yeah.
Bellingham's one of the most overrated English midfield players I've ever seen in my whole life.
Yeah.
And I've seen some fallen midfield players. I think. You know, big up DJB, real ones. Yeah, we try and be real, man. This is what we're trying to be. We're trying to be real. We're just trying to keep it real. And we give credit where credit's due. And listen, if Arsenal win something next season and the guy brings home the Premiership and Cesco bangs in, like, if Cesco bangs in 25 goals, then I'll hold my hands up and I'll go, like, who the F are we? Shut my mouth up. Move on to something else.
At this point, people, we don't know.
No,
we don't know. Okay, so we only seen based on, you know, if somebody says, right, this is what I can offer you, yeah, you're going to make a choice. If somebody says this guy scores 30 plus goals and this guy scores 15 plus goals in a season, you're likely to go for the one that scores the most goals. Yeah, we don't know what's going to happen because Gyokeres could come and he could flop. We don't know. Yeah, but I think it's down to Arteta, and Arteta is not at the level to manage this club.
No.
Any other top manager like Inzaghi.
There it is there, Norms. Look, if Arteta had been at Liverpool in his first season, they wouldn't have won the league. If Slot had been with Arsenal, yeah, perhaps they would have won. I'm not saying they'd have won the league, but I think they'd have won the trophy. What I can't, before we part and chat, smash the likes, make sure you're subbing to Normski as well. Okay, his link is in the chat, pinned in now. Make sure you sub into this guy. And then follow all the real ones. You've got Shane Gooner, you've got my man Aaron, you've got Lee Gunner, you've got the Southern Gooner, you've got Jez, the Godfather. Big up Jez all the time. All real, man. Just make sure you sub to them and everything. All proper guys. See how I look at it, right? I still believe that under any manager with any kind of balls or in-game management or creativity or risk taker, with the players we've got, with the squad we have, would have won a trophy.
Oh, yeah.
I still believe we wouldn't have gone out over 2 legs against Newcastle, and I'm taking nothing away from Newcastle. You know, I still think with a decent manager, if we'd have had Eddie Howe in that semi-final, we'd have won it.
Yeah. And you remember in the past we've been linked with Eddie Howe. It's just because he's not a fancy name. They call him the PE.
Son of the legend Don Howe, by the way.
They call him the PE teacher, don't they? That's what they call him.
Yeah, Cesco will probably get injured. Yeah, because he'll probably have to track back and sit on the end of the box, on the edge of our box, defending. He's probably got to do defensive duty as well, and that's probably why he wants to sign him. Because Gyokeres will go, no, I'm not tracking back. I'm a goal scorer. And this is why he doesn't want an out-and-out goal scorer. He wants someone that can defend.
Do you think DJ
will be the next thing?
I know we've kind of seen, obviously, the last season, and we've seen the pragmatic football that we've seen this season, absolutely boring. Do you think there's any... We're that close, guys. We're that close. No, sorry. Do you think there's any chance of him, Arteta, changing the way he plays?
No, not with the signings he's made. I think if he'd have signed Gyokeres, he might have changed the way we play. But I think with Cesco, if Cesco, by the way, we still don't even know for sure if Cesco will come. Let's be honest. Let's be real. It's only talks, isn't it? And see, I said this to Jez, right? Big up, Jez. I said this to Jez the other day, right? I've been supporting this club long enough now, and you have, Normski, to know how this club operates, right? Until I actually see a shirt on their back and they're actually sitting at the desk signing with the sporting director sat behind them and the manager sat behind him, I don't believe hardly anything. I will talk about signings. I will say about what I want to see. But until I actually see it, I can't really get my head around it because there's so many different permutations. This guy might want Cesco so badly, but Cesco's agent might come along and go, right, well, if you want my man badly, you've got to pay him XYZ amount of pounds. And the club's going to turn around and go, no, sorry, we're not paying that. And Cesco's going to go, right, well, I'll keep the options open then. And it all falls through. It can all fall through. See, signings can fall through at a drop of a hat.
Yeah.
You think you've got someone nailed on, and it can be something really, really, really silly, like travelling. The partner don't want to move to London. Wages. It's normally wages, isn't it? And contracts.
Contracts. And
like the player will want a 5-year deal. With add-ons, and the club might only be willing to give him 3. You know, it can be something really, really simple, and it can all fall through. So this is what I'm trying to say. There's still a lot of negotiating to be done with all these signings. So when you go on these streams and when you look at all these signings and the headlines and you go on some of these channels and it goes, done deal, Cesco going to Arsenal. It's not.
That's just clicks.
It's not a done deal.
For clicks.
They're just doing it for clicks. There's no done deal. There's no evidence of that. Yeah? 5-year deal on the table. It's a definite done signing. You know, when you see these channels and all of that and they're going, oh yeah, it's a done deal. Cesco joins Arsenal. Great big capital letters and mate, listen. Trust me, lots can happen. And until I actually see it, listen, if Cesco comes to Arsenal, I'll have my season ticket. I'll be going to watch him next season. I'll be getting behind him. Of course I will.
You're going to have to. As I said, DJB, honestly, all right, we can moan here all we want and do what we need to do, but he may come here and he may shut our mouths up. I
hope he does.
But I just hope that Arteta manages him right because, as I said, I think under this manager, I just don't think we're going to be able to play the football that we want to see 2 seasons ago or whatever it was.
No, exactly, man. I can't. It comes down to the manager, doesn't it? Oh, do you know what I want to see before we wrap, Norms? Because I know we've got the Champions League, and as I said, we all want to settle down and watch that, and it is Saturday evening. I'm conscious of that, but all I want to see, Norms, I just want to see football. I want to see us going for it. I want to see us playing flowing football, letting players excel, letting Martinelli come off the left and roam around and just play with freedom.
Yeah.
Take the shackles off of these players instead of this robotic up and down, sideways. Just let them play.
Yeah.
That's all I want to see. I just want to see them play, Norms, you know, whoever comes to the club. And this is another reason why I feel a manager is ready to change, because I think the players will get their mojo back.
Yeah.
I think if they see a new face, new ideas and new tactics, these players are going to go, yo, I'm up for this. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think players after a while, you know, you hear the same voice time out, and it might be nice to just hear a different voice.
Yeah.
You know? And rather than bringing a bulb to a team meeting, you know, light bulb, they might think of bringing something else that may.
Yeah, no, 100%, mate, 100%. No, you're right, Norm. I mean, but we will see, my friend. Norm, prediction for tonight?
I'm gonna go. Right, is it going to be a tight game? Was it going to be open? I think it's going to be a tight game, just the way they are. I'm going to go 2-2 extra time, and Inter Milan to win it on penalties.
Do you know what, right? Do you know what? For a football point of view, I'd like to see PSG win it, because I love the way they play. I love Kvaratskhelia, the way he's got him playing. I like the freedom that they all play with, yeah? However, when it comes to a final, you've got to be a little bit doggy and you've got to be a little bit savvy, ain't you?
Yeah.
And I think Inter has that.
That's what they got.
So I think the first goal is going to be key.
Yeah.
I think if Inter gets it, do you know what? I'm going to go. I want PSG to win it, but big up to both sets of teams. But I'm going to go 2-1 Inter.
Yeah. A lot of fans, a lot of the people in the chat saying 2-1 Inter. Some are saying 2-1.
Let's have a look. Let's show Inter 2-1. Big up, Jez, man. Big up. We're gonna do something. I'm gonna get you on, man. We're gonna do something next week, my friend. Big up, my friend. Inter 2-1. Yeah, we got 2-1 in. Yeah, it's going to be. I'm going to try and get along on the watch along later on with Lee, so that'll be good. Yeah. But listen, guys. First of all, I want to say big up the chat. Thank you very much indeed. It has been an absolute pleasure. Thank you very much for joining me and Normski. It's been amazing. Can't thank you enough. Thank you for all your comments. Hope I've highlighted a lot of them. Always a pleasure. Make sure you sub and smash the likes, not only to me, but to all the channels that you follow. And that's what it's all about, guys. That's what it's all about, keeping it real. But no, big up, everyone. Normski, what you got coming up, brother? You got anything good?
Back to the Wednesday shows. This time it's going to be all talking about transfers and what various teams are going to be doing. So there's the Wednesday show. That's my show. But obviously I'll be going on other shows like the weekend. Well, I can say Weekend Hangover.
Yeah.
A different show, obviously, that Aaron is doing now. So that's Monday. I'll be on Aaron's show with you guys.
Yeah.
And then on Thursdays, the Bruised Banana.
Yeah. Big up Shane and Guna, yeah, and Aaron, follow them.
You kind of think, bro. So, normally what happens, I get a text saying, would you like to come on the show, blah, blah, blah. So,
yeah, that's how it goes. It's like me, I'm around the streams, but I've got, I'm doing my own stuff as well, which is good.
Yeah.
Keep out me little, I do me little video clips as well. Like
I think what I'm going to do, do some live.
That's all good, man. And if any news comes up that I think might interest the chat,
live, mate.
Yeah, I'm just a fan. But just want to say again, big up the fans going to the playoff, the non-league playoff tomorrow. It's very important for those fans to get into the football leagues, the Southend and Oldham, isn't it? I think. So big up to the teams that are there tomorrow at Wembley. I hope you enjoy your day out. It is a fantastic day. Hope you enjoy the Champions League. Stay safe. Much love. Make sure you're following everyone. Make sure you sub. And we are out of here. Big up, everyone.